Hey guys, this is Bella. I was trying to put myself on a video too, but somehow I can't. I couldn't. So we're about to start the challenge. I hope you are excited just like I am. I'm just doing making sure everything is okay and position is fine. And then let me just go again here. Hope everybody's well. The weather is amazing, at least over here in Connecticut. If you're not in Connecticut, I understand. I hope it's amazing over there too, whatever you are. And just adjusting one little bit, and then we're going to start. Okay. All right. So just for you to know, I'm using a small brush. I'm just gonna show you the brushes I'm using over here. So I have a medium brush, not so big. Then I have a really what I call the medium brush, and then I have the tiny brush over here. And with this three, we are good to go. If you have a different one, and I understand, but the biggest thing is like to understand the first day and what we need to do here, okay? So I do have for colors, just like I sent to you by email, I have the primary colors. So it is the yellow and the blue and the red, and then the black and white. This should be good for us to accomplish this one, okay? But first things we're going to do to accomplish something like this, we need to exercise a little more. And I want to show you how we're going to get there. So you have to have patience to understand, and then to do some things to understand the colors and how we mix stuff. And then we're going to get there in the third day, okay? So today we are going to be mapping things and just finding ways to do to get there. So I'm going to get my big brush over here. I'm going to leave my brushes over here, but you can get a medium one just like this. And I am going to just put some marks on my canvas for me to know where things are going to be. So with yellow, I'm going to ask you to get tiny of yellow on your brush and then start with some marks. So I always like to see my horizon line because then I know where things are going to be. So my horizon line is not really on the center. It's a little, like if you compare, it's a little bit under. So I'm just gonna find where is the center and then put it a little bit, like I would say, not even an inch, like a half an inch. So find the center of your canvas, okay? And then half an inch, you're just gonna find your horizon line there. Then we are going to map where things are going to be, and we have like a little bit of piece of like soil here, which is not in your horizon line but just down, and I'm putting there because that's where I'm going to have stuff going, okay? Then I know I also have a very big piece of like vegetation there. So I'm just gonna put it over here. It doesn't need to be too big, but I'm just like, okay, it's there. And I know it's going to be dark. Then I have another piece over there. It's like a little darker there. There's another piece. Then I have another one coming in this area. So all I'm doing is to understand where things are going to be, like the biggest pieces I have in this area, okay? So you want to know all that, and it's good for you to map it and see where's the darker colors are going to go, where things are going to go. And then we're going to leave it alone for now, putting this in the water, and I'm going to get my bigger piece, and I am going to now make things, cover things, because I want to do the bases, and that's all we're going to do today. And we're going to do some studies too, okay? All right, so you see there some blue, and you see some blue around here, and you see greens, and you see a lot of different types of greens and browns, okay? And it's very important for you to know where things are going to be before you start to work with details, because a lot of times people, what they do, they just feel they have to put the details before, but it's not how really we should be painting, okay? So let's work on the bigger pieces now, and then making sure we just cover the parts. So I'm just gonna make a nice light blue, which goes to the sky and going to the water. And I'm just gonna make a nice light blue and mixing a little bit. It doesn't need to be too much, but I'm just making and putting over there. And you know where's your yellow. So right now we don't need to cover the yellow, we just need to know the blue is covering some parts there. And you may feel like asking, oh, but what about the details? We're not going to work on details yet, okay? This is really just a mapping situation for us to know where things are going to be and where things are not going to be. So do not worry about details. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the water. And I'm going to go here and just work on bringing blue to this part. That was not supposed to happen, the green there, but it's okay. We can work on that later. And this type of a painting, we start to map it out to see where things are gonna go, and we cover the bigger pieces, and then we go to details. So they don't look like much when we start. It's normal because we're not doing details at all. I just know how to cover them in different parts, okay? All right, so now we did this. So I'm just going to get the darkest colors. So the darkest color in this area, it's almost black, but I'm not going to use black. So I'm just going to use like a super dark blue, and I'm gonna clean up my brush. And I'm just gonna add a little black to my blue. And because it has a tiny green there, I'm just gonna add some yellow too. So it is a dark, really dark color. It's a little blue there, a little green. And one part of the lesson we're going to be doing today will be to understand mixing, because mixing is a big deal once you start painting, okay? So I'm going to go here, and you see this area here, I'm just going to find this area, and I'm just going to cover there, mapping out where things are going to be. And I'm just gonna add this there, and maybe over here a little bit there too. This is a darker, super dark color you wanna have, okay? Then I see the same color in this area too, and I'm just adding some. And I'm putting some over here too. And again, you may feel, okay, this is pretty weird, never gonna be there. Believe me, it will. Just trust the process. Okay? So now, cleaning again my brush, because today all we're going to do is to cover the areas. We need to cover all the areas. We need to not see canvas there. So once we did this, I'm now going to find another green. So just mixing blue and yellow together, I'm going to find a nice medium green just to cover areas. So I'm just gonna go around here, and I'm gonna cover this area too. And I'm just putting over there. You see, like I'm just adding with my brush these areas. And let me see here, same thing with the same color. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna actually cover this area too. And I'm gonna add some. Okay. So here I see some other areas, and it's a mix of this color and the dark one. So you can go and just add some of that color, and if you want to bring the dark one once in a while, like I said, we're just mapping things out. Okay, then I also see, I know you probably thinking about what's going on with the water, but because we just painted, we're gonna leave it this way, okay? Going to leave that way, and I'm just gonna bring maybe like a lighter, maybe a little bit lighter green to the ground here. Just because I don't want to make it too dark. All right. All right, so pretty much you're going to be like, what? Pretty much what we need to do today, it's done. We covered the bigger areas, and we are just studying something. But I'm going to take this from here, and I'm going to get a piece of paper, and I'm going to work with you in something completely different. This is just paper, but I'm going to be working with you because it's very important before we go to this for you to understand what's going to make this. It's very, very important. So first of all, we see, I'm not even sure how many greens we see there, but it's a very important thing for us to know. Getting blue and mixing that with yellow will result in green. So you get this, and you get that one, and you get green. Okay? But then, sometimes you're gonna get more blue, and you're gonna get a very different type of green, sorry. And then you're gonna get even more blue, and you're going to get even a much more different one. So it's very important for you to understand what you can do with your color. Because a lot of us, what we do, we go to the store, we see green, and we're like, okay, let's buy green. But then we don't understand the shades and all the differences we can get there, okay? So it is important for you to study, because you're gonna need for this, that's for sure. Every time you mix, like for example, if you mix more yellow, you are going to see a completely different green. So it's important for you to understand that, because that way you are going to get a way different painting, especially when you're painting nature. Nature, especially, well, for those who are in New England, but if you are not in New England, it doesn't not matter. Nature still have a lot of different differences, okay? So you see, this is what you're going to get if you get more yellow. This is what you're gonna get if you get more blue. And you can do this with a lot of different colors, because it's important for you to understand what you can do. And I know you may feel like, no, but I know I can do a lot of things. No, I know you do, but it's one thing to do and to train. It's a very different situation, okay? So it is important for you to train this, because we're gonna need this. And by the way, the painting is drying anyway, so we are not gonna go anywhere. The other thing I would like you to do today is to understand your brush. So your brush is not just, this is like, it's a whole page you should be filling for you to know what you can do here. So if you can try to do this exercise, it's the best exercise to understand color and mixing. Very, very important, okay? When you want to paint, really paint, it means you have to know this type of a thing. And then the other thing is, okay, what can I do with my brush? Because your brush, you're like, okay, I can do this. Oh, yeah, of course you can. But your brush, you can use the side of your brush. You can dab with your brush. You can go and use the side of your brush to dab and to get foliage. You can do rounds with your brush, and that's not something we're gonna do in this one, but you can like do those round. Sometimes we use for like once you're doing a sun, when you're doing something else. So you can use those things. And it's important for you to know sometimes holding your brush close like this, what means, and you holding your brush to do something super light because you want to make sure your touch is light. So all those things are important for you to know. Get familiar with that, because we're gonna need on this. We're gonna need, there's a lot of dabbing over there. Same thing with your small brush and same thing with your medium brush. I tend to use flat brushes because I like them, but the round brushes are great for so many things too. This one is a flat brush, okay? But it's a great thing to work for your trees, but that's a habit I have to work with my flat brushes. You don't have to have the same habit. If you use, for example, a a tiny brush and is a round one, you can use for many different types of things. And even for foliage, like we were saying, the dabbing parts, if you want to do something super tiny and small, and you want to make sure everything starts small, because you're seeing some details over here and some branches, we're going to need all that, okay? So it is very, very important for you to get familiar, not just get the brush and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And this can be one thing, but usually we use the tip of the brush to really get the potential of the brush. Okay, so that's important in understanding color, because coming back to understanding color, if you want to add over here, for example, you be like, Bella, why do you have red if we are not using red? So one of the things, guys, it's a very important to know, some people are a little radical and say real artists never use black. That's not true. We can, absolutely. But you can get so many different types of colors without putting black or white there, okay? Usually they call the pure color, which means you for example, you want to have a green, let's say you're just doing a green here, and you like the green you have, and you're like, okay, I like this green. But now you want to add a tiny of red to your green. And you're like, red to my green? So it's a completely different type of color green. But it is a green. It is with the red there. And you see, we can use with over here with the branches. We can use on the soil. It's not a completely brown, but is a green with like a tad of red there, and it is a green. So you can see the difference between greens you can get with just the two colors and then adding the red, what happens. So what I need you to do is to do a little bit of studying, because if you do that, you are going to see the huge difference you will do on your colors and in your greens and in your painting in general, okay? So today, the biggest thing for us to learn is to cover the bigger areas. We're gonna cover all the bigger areas. First, we map everything, just like I was saying to you. And then we're gonna be covering the bigger areas and let it dry. And then studying a little bit the colors and what we can do with the brushes, okay? Those things are crazy important for us to come back tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern time. And we're going to continue with this painting and not finishing up yet, but we're going to continue in putting a lot of more details than we did it today. Okay? So if you can post over there what you've done and what you got accomplished, that would be awesome. The more participation you have, the more I will know if you are doing and if you really want to learn, because then I can bring more classes for the group. But I really need participation too, so please participate. Make sure you let me know if you have questions and all those things. That will be awesome to know, okay, guys? So thank you so much for today. I hope you get there. And I know sometimes it's hard to do the live and then answer the questions at the same time. But I'll answer the questions as soon as I see them, okay? Thank you so much again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you.